Unexplained arguments, constant anxiety, a feeling of being watched. These aren't just bad days. According to church teaching, they can be signs that your home is under spiritual attack. Here are 6 red flags you can't ignore. The Catholic faith teaches that our homes are meant to be domestic churches. They are sacred spaces, consecrated by the love of the family and the presence of God. A Catholic home should be a place of peace, a sanctuary from the chaos of the world, and a fortress against the forces of evil. But just like a church, a home can be desecrated. It can become a place of spiritual turmoil, anxiety, and oppression. The church, through the wisdom of its exorcists and its ancient rites of blessing, has long recognized that places, not just people, can come under the negative influence of the demonic. The stakes are the peace and salvation of your family. The enemy seeks to destroy the family by attacking its sanctuary, the home. He introduces discord, fear, and impurity to create an environment where faith cannot flourish. Recognizing the signs of a spiritual affliction in your home is not about superstition or paranoia. It is an act of responsible spiritual leadership, of guarding the flock entrusted to you. It is the first step in reclaiming your home for Christ and restoring it as the place of peace He intends it to be. Here are 6 red flags, identified by those on the front lines of spiritual warfare, that your domestic church may be in need of a spiritual cleansing. The first sign is a sudden and persistent atmosphere of discord and anger. Every family has arguments. But if your home is suddenly plagued by constant, bitter fighting that seems to come out of nowhere and over trivial matters, it can be a sign of a demonic instigation. The devil is a spirit of division. His goal is to break the bonds of charity. This manifests as an unusual increase in irritability, a lack of patience, and a spirit of resentment that settles over the family like a dark cloud. Words become weapons, and the home, which should be a place of love, becomes a war zone. This is often the first and most common sign that the enemy is trying to gain a foothold. The second sign is a pervasive feeling of spiritual desolation and heaviness. This goes beyond just having a bad day. It is a persistent spiritual atmosphere, a palpable sense of sadness, despair, or even dread that seems to inhabit the house itself. You may feel spiritually drained the moment you walk in the door. Prayer becomes difficult or impossible in the home, and religious objects may even evoke feelings of aversion. It feels like a spiritual weight is pressing down on you, making it difficult to hope or to feel the presence of God. Imagine the feeling of a cold, damp cellar, a place where sunlight cannot penetrate. This is the spiritual atmosphere that can settle on a home that is under attack. But what happens when these feelings manifest in more concrete ways? The third sign is unexplained sensory phenomena. This is where we must be extremely cautious and first rule out all natural explanations. But according to exorcists, a common sign of infestation is recurring, inexplicable sounds or smells. This could be the sound of footsteps in an empty hallway, knocking on the walls, or whispers when no one is there. It can also manifest as repugnant odors, like sulfur or decay, that appear and disappear without any natural source. Another manifestation is a feeling of being watched, or the sense of an unseen presence in a room. While these can be unsettling, they are often tactics of intimidation designed to create fear, which is the enemy's primary psychological weapon. The fourth sign is the presence of occult or cursed objects. This is a critical factor. One of the most common ways a demonic influence enters a home is by being carried in on an object. This could be a Ouija board, tarot cards, New Age crystals, or idols and symbols from pagan religions. It can also be an object that was used in a sinful or traumatic event, or something that was explicitly cursed. The Catechism gravely warns against all forms of divination and magic, as they are an attempt to usurp God's power and are open doors to the demonic. Any such objects in the home are a spiritual cancer and must be removed and properly disposed of. A home cannot be a sanctuary for both God and idols. What about the impact on your spiritual and physical well-being? The fifth sign is persistent and unusual struggles with sin, especially impurity. If a family member, particularly a child, suddenly begins to be plagued by intense, obsessive struggles with sins like pornography, it can be a sign that the environment itself is spiritually toxic. The enemy often attacks the virtue of chastity to defile the domestic church. This is often accompanied by the sixth sign, recurring nightmares and sleep disturbances. This is particularly common with children who are more spiritually sensitive. Nightmares that are graphically violent, blasphemous, or demonic in nature, and that recur in the same room of the house, can be a sign of a spiritual affliction in that space. It is an attack on the peace and rest of the family. If you recognize several of these signs in your home, do not panic. The church provides a powerful and effective solution. The first step is to cleanse the home of any occult or sinful objects. Second, call a priest and have your home blessed using the solemn rite of blessing of a home from the Roman ritual. This is a powerful sacramental that reconsecrates the home to Christ. Third, enthrone the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary in a prominent place. This declares who the true king and queen of your home are. Finally, you must use the church's spiritual arsenal on a regular basis. Keep a crucifix in every room. Bless yourselves and your children with holy water. Use blessed salt in the corners of rooms. And most importantly, make your home a place of prayer. A family that prays the rosary together is a fortress the devil cannot breach. Your home is a battleground. It is time to reclaim it for Christ. For more practical guides to Catholic spiritual defense, subscribe to our channel.